Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the 143. This is Under Review, episode 123, coming at you live. Nick, how we doing?
Good. This is our yearly scheduled Cowboys rant episode where we just point out all the mini flaws and just everything, all the issues that we have, because there's always something to point out, something to nitpick.
A few weeks ago, I mentioned that this episode would be short because we were talking about all our off-season moves. Hey, how about signing Zeke Elliott? We all thought the Cowboys weren't going to sign a running back. Well, guess what? They had Zeke in their back pocket the entire time. None of us saw it coming, but now we are all in awe of their genius in making everyone think they weren't going to take a running back by passing on Derrick Henry, by passing on Aaron Jones, by passing on every free agent running back available so they could go sign Zeke, who clearly is washed. So, hey, thanks Cowboys, and it's good to see 15's back with us.
Yeah, everyone was like, Zeke's finally home, and it's like, well, we didn't really want him, or at least I didn't.
Why did Zeke leave again? Remind me.
Because he was garbage.
Because we cut him. That's why he left. So I don't know why we signed him back, but hey, he's back, man. So hey, maybe he'll have a breakout year, but it won't be that rookie year, that's for sure. But so we addressed the running back position with two free agent signings of Royce Freeman and Zeke Elliott, two guys who just are not very good. We have Rico Dowdell and Deuce Vaughn. So running back is definitely not looking great this year. Honestly, all in all, Cowboys ended the season by Jerry Jones saying we are going all in, and we have not gone all in on a single player, not re-signing Dak, CD, just like extending contracts like we need to do. We haven't signed any big free agents. The draft was subpar. We definitely drafted some good O-linemen, but other than that, I just feel like we didn't address any issues. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Obviously, the big red flag was running back, and then we proceeded to do nothing to solve that problem. We got rid of Tony, but then
which we needed to do. That was okay. I understood.
Did nothing to replace him.
Yeah.
I was fine with that move as well. I thought it was time for him to go, time to get someone else, and then we end up.
I totally thought we were doing it to get
back.
Derrick Henry.
That's what I thought as well. I thought we were making room for the king to sit on his throne in Dallas, but how foolish.
We also needed wide receivers in the draft. I actually was looking at the ESPN thing during the draft, and it's like, here are 5 positions they need, and if they've chosen one of them, the position will go green. And round 6, we had 1 green, and it was offensive lineman. So we addressed 0 needs, except for I'm happy we addressed offensive linemen. Definitely needed those. But we didn't address a single need in the draft outside of offensive linemen. We need defense. We need offense. The Cowboys just didn't get any better. Meanwhile, as I'm watching the Eagles trade around the clock, getting all these guys that are pretty good, honestly. Whether they'll be good for the Eagles or not, but it's just you're watching your rival just do everything you were kind of hoping we would do. And they also extended their number 1 guy. We're waiting on CD to get extended. Just the Cowboys didn't – I don't know what Jerry thinks all in means, but we did less this offseason than we have in any offseason previously that I've seen. So I don't know what we're doing in Dallas.
Yeah, we got the token – O-lineman that we always draft that ends up being a stud, Tyler Guyton. That's who we got in the first round. We're always good at drafting linemen, so there's a plus there, but that was the only need that we addressed. And it was frustrating watching the Eagles. It was the same thing last year, too. The Eagles got better. They made some crucial big piece off-season moves, and then they do the same thing this year, and we're just watching, hoping maybe we'll do something, we'll respond.
I would say that we watched the other 3 teams in our division get, better through the draft, through the offseason, and watched us do absolutely nothing. And if we had just won the Super Bowl, I would understand not doing nothing. But we got bounced in the first round by the number 7 seed. It was embarrassing. We got destroyed. We got obliterated. And then we sat on our rear ends and watched everybody just do the right thing in the offseason, just making trades, making moves. And we sat there and we were like, well, we're all in, so we're going to keep it the same, because that's what all in means. Because
it's time for Jerry to sell the team. That's what I want.
I'm going to have to agree.
Power
I'm tired of it.
Out of his hands. It's obvious he's getting old. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's time for him to go.
When you get older, your mind starts to go. It's part of life, and that's okay. But not as the GM of the Dallas Cowboys.
You can still have ownership if you want.
No.
GM needs to be gone.
No.
You need to.
The Jones family has ruined the football of the Cow. I don't care about being the most expensive franchise in sports, okay? We've got no trophies to show for that in the last 25 years.
That's why he needs to at the very least hire a GM. Let that part go.
You know what? I'll kick in with the stat of the week, brought to you by Andrew's Logistics real quick. The stat is that we haven't been to an NFC championship game since 1996, which by my calculations very quickly would be almost 27 years. Yeah, 27 years. 27 years since we've been to an NFC championship game.
But hey, we won the division.
Years. Yeah, and I don't really care. I'm so tired of this. And Nick's tired of it. We're tired of it here at Under Review. And honestly, I wish that one of these years, as we do this for decades to come, that we can come to you and say, man, we don't have much to say this offseason episode because we did it all right.
We did it. And so with that, let's just go ahead and throw your player of the week at you, Tyler Guyton. We talked about him already. Offensive lineman out of Oklahoma.
I didn't hate that pick.
We're good at picking linemen. For the most part, I would say the first round picks that the Cowboys get typically pan out to be good players for a good long time. So I mean, I didn't hate the Tyler Guyton pick. Our offensive line needed bulking up, and so he's going to do some damage for us.
My mindset was offensive lineman round 1, running back round 2. And here's the thing. There weren't any running backs that even went in the first round. They weren't good enough this year. But there were some good guys that I thought would be pretty decent that we just didn't even care about. Like Ray Davis out of Kentucky. I like Dylan Johnson out of Washington. Bucky Irving out of Oregon. I mean, these were guys that put up some really good numbers in college.
Anybody would have been better than Zeke.
Yeah, exactly. At least somebody young. I mean, what are we doing? We don't have anybody young. I mean, Deuce Vaughn, but he's getting creamed every time he gets tackled.
I don't know what the plan is.
Young, but
maybe I don't know what we're doing. Maybe we won't really have a true running back 1 or something, and we'll just be filtering guys in and out every play. I mean, I
would assume Zeke's going to be that, just the battering ram, just come in on 1 and 2 yard runs for the most part. But I mean, Zeke was a great pass catching back, and I mean, he put up good numbers. He was the leading receiver for the Patriots last year, which the Patriots were awful. So that's not saying much, but still, I mean, he can catch it out of the backfield. And Dak and Zeke have that chemistry. So maybe something can, I don't know.
But it's just Zeke doesn't have that, explosiveness. He doesn't have that pop anymore.
Nope.
I thought we were done with him. We got all the good years we could out of him. We let him. We parted ways with him. We got everything out of him that we could, and then he had a decent career in New England. I didn't think it was worth anything. He was going to get himself a home somewhere else. But here we are.
I will say it's just aside from the running back position, we didn't even. I mean, our defense last year towards the end of the year was pathetic. I mean, we were just getting creamed by every team we played. In the running game, the run defense has been awful for 2 years, and the pass defense fell apart against Green Bay. We've got to address that. And we hired Mike Zimmer. Maybe, he can do something, defensive coordinator, to turn it around on defense. But we've got to figure this stuff out. And our offense has to put up points. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys finished their season like the Rangers are playing baseball, okay? Our defense is awful. and our offense isn't putting up points. Okay, one of them has to be really good if the other one's going to be bad.
And the other thing is, I felt like we could have maybe bulked up at the linebacker position.
Yeah,
a pretty big loss was Leighton Vander Esch. He'd been battling injuries the last couple seasons, and
we did sign Kendricks. That was
unfortunately for him. He medically retired, I believe is the term that they used. Yeah, medically retired from football. He had been a good, strategist, if you will.
Yeah.
He's good at sniffing out plays and being the leader, being the captain. Mm-hmm. So, we'll be looking for someone to step into that role this year. Obviously, I was hoping we would maybe do some more signing / drafting defensively. How foolish of me to think that. Think that we would make the right move.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only sign we did sign Kendricks at linebacker. I like that signing. I just, we were so underwhelmed because we were expecting Derrick Henry, and so I mean that was probably good. That was a good signing.
I just anything less was.
And then I thought
I don't want it.
We are determined to draft guys and bring them up through the organization. That's what we love. We don't like signing free agents. So I'm like, okay, this draft better be good. We better draft a running back. Never did that. We just drafted multiple offensive linemen, which is good. We drafted an edge rusher, which is fine. But, I mean, we drafted a receiver in the 6th round I was looking at his highlights. It looks like he played at a high school, like he was from small college. I hope they really saw something. I hope they see something in this team that I don't. But the thing is, I feel like I'm gonna watch us go 10, 7, 9, or like even 11 and 6 or something and lose first round, or maybe not even make it in. I don't know.
I mean, I don't really have that high hopes for this season. Whatever happens. I mean,
hey,
if we're not gonna take it seriously, why should I?
You're making us sound like a couple of 7-year-old Cowboys fans right now. All right, we're in our 20s. This is embarrassing.
It's like, he says we're all in. It was like, show me. I want to believe that we're all in.
When you come out and say it in a press conference, you made headlines. You made national headlines by saying that. It was all talk. I've had it.
We sit through the same thing every year.
You know what? We sat through it with the Rangers for a long time, so maybe this will pay off in a decade when Jerry's not in charge anymore.
Kick the bucket.
I wasn't going to say that, but hey, it works. That's what I meant.
I mean, that's the only way he gets out of power, unfortunately.
That's true. He's not giving it up while he's still here. But, hey, man. But you know what? Maybe he sees something we don't, Nick. You never know.
He definitely does, because I see nothing but holes in this team.
Same here.
Zero.
Same head coach, man.
To no improvement. Yep.
Kept everything the same.
Here's end our shows in under review. Brought to you a quote from the Jamal Williams. He said, "Do not give up. Do not feel like you're tired." And that's the truth. You gotta go through life with perseverance. Okay?
Take that with you. Congratulations on waking up at 5 a.m. this morning and listening to our episode. We appreciate that. And Jerry, thanks for saying you were going all in and just completely psyching us out.
And letting us all believe that and making us look dumb.
I hope you understand we will never believe another word that comes out of your mouth again. That's the consequences right there. So thank y'all for listening to our yearly Dallas Cowboy rant, and we will see you next week with another episode of Under Review.